Hello everybody, this is sharkray24 here, coming at you with a very special announcement video. As you can probably guess by the slide that's on the screen right now, and by the title of this video, I am going to be opening up voice acting commissions. With the quarantine and everything being crazy around the world the way it is, I currently don't have an income. And so I need that, in order to get by. So I decided to start doing voice acting commissions. Now, they are open as of this video going up, but as far as when they will be closing, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out when we get there. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, let's get into the prices first, shall we? So, first thing I want to say is that these prices are all extremely flexible. Both that they could be more expensive or less expensive than what is listed here. And that's just because with every voice acting project, there is a lot to consider other than just some of the basic stuff. But as a basic premise, we'll be going based off of time in minutes. And keep in mind, all these prices are listed in US dollars. So, 0 to 5 minutes will be $10, 5 minutes to 15 minutes will be $20, 15 minutes to 30 minutes will be $35, and over half an hour will be $50, most likely more if it's extra long. So another thing that part of our agreement when you commission me is that if my voice acting is to be used in a project like a game or a film or what have you, that I should be listed in the credits. I mean, that's a pretty obvious one. And like I said, I'm more than willing to negotiate prices with anyone who may not be able to afford some of the more higher price ones, though I will also be saying that if I find the project to be more demanding than just based on what the time frame is, I may raise the price on you. Alright, let's talk about the content that I do for my voice acting. So when you commission me, some of the things that I can do for you are multiple voices per commission, though I will be charging extra per voice, and we'll be getting to that shortly. I'm willing to do both pre-existing characters like Mickey Mouse or Dr. Doofenshmirtz, or your own original characters, though you should probably expect to direct me a bit so that I can better bring your character to life for you. I can also do both male and female characters, also non-binary characters. I'm happy to do that. I also do, only for customers at least 18 years old, adult content. And I've done that before for small visual novels. So I'm not a stranger to it. I also do singing. My vocal range is a lyrical baritone. However, currently due to the voice training and the hormone replacement therapy that I'm doing, a lot of my voice is changing. So I may not be able to do like a super long song, but I'm still more than willing to do singing. Now, there are some things that I will not do. Firstly, I won't do any kind of hate speech, whether it's racism, sexism, xenophobia, homophobia, etc., etc. Not gonna do that. Also, for my adult content, I won't do any content that involves pedophilia, rape, assault, bestiality, and some other things. I'm not gonna list them all here. So the real thing with that is that you have to ask first, and if I'm comfortable with doing it, I will do it. If I'm not comfortable with doing it, we're not doing it. Thirdly, I won't do content that involves alcohol or drug use just for personal reasons. I don't feel comfortable doing it. That one is the one point that I'm probably more willing to negotiate on, depending on the extent of the substance in the script. And finally, I have the right to refuse any commission I don't feel comfortable with recording. That being said, I want to do your commission. Believe me, I do. But there are just some things that I won't tolerate that will end up with you not getting a commission from me. Alright, let's talk about some of the extra services that can go along with your voice acting commission. First up is cleanup, which is free, at least for commissions up to half an hour. So this includes clearing out background noises, volume adjustment and normalizing, and other basic editing that I would already be doing for any other of my voice acting work that I would do. Next is the extra editing, which at the very least would go about $5. At most, $25, maybe more if it's extremely extensive. And like I said, this is one that I'm willing to negotiate on. This is one that will depend on various factors, and it will be different from commission to commission. So I have a lot of experience with editing audio on Audacity. In the Legends of the New Republic podcast that I'm a part of, which I posted a video about a while ago. More information up in the card. I'm one of the editors for that, so I have plenty of experience with audio editing, so I'm willing to do stuff like sound effects, background music, filters, whatever you want me to do, I can do, but just know that the more work that I have to put into it, the more will be coming out of your pocket. And, if you know how to do editing, there's always the option for you to do it if you want to. And as mentioned earlier, I'm willing to do multiple voices. That's going to average about $5 per additional voice. There isn't going to be much wiggle room with that, unless the script is extremely short or extremely long. I'd be willing to lower and raise the price, depending on those factors. Finally, singing will be costing an extra $10 or up to even $50, depending on how difficult the song is. It may go beyond those parameters, because, if it's a lot of work for me, and if I have to do multiple takes, that could be really damaging to my voice and my throat. And I don't want to have to turn down other commissions because I accidentally damaged my throat while doing something for someone else's commission. Along those lines, with the singing, I don't play any instruments and I don't have access to any instruments. So if you want a specific song, you're going to have to provide the accompaniment, whether it's finding just the background music of a song you like, or providing the instrumental yourself if you play an instrument. And next up is the blooper reel, which is going to only be $1 because all I have to do is just not delete my bad takes. It's really that simple. For editing simplicity, I typically delete my bad takes. But I know some people, if they're working on a film or a game, they might want to have a blooper reel as a little bonus feature. So I'm willing to save my blooper reel for you if you want. And that'll only be $1, regardless of how long the script is. And next we have the rush job, which there's going to be a lot of variance with this. At the minimum, I'm willing to go $5. It might go up to $45, $50 even. It really depends, because when you commission me, I will respect your time by completing your commission as quickly as possible. Please respect my time with deadlines. I have to work on a lot of stuff for YouTube, for the podcast that I mentioned. I have a lot of stuff currently going on in my personal life, and there's just a lot of other things that I'm currently having to deal with. So if you absolutely need something done next day or even the same day, I will be charging you extra for that. That being said, I'm going to provide some samples of work that I've already done, and then we're going to walk through the pricing on all of those. So, let's have a listen with the first sample, which is going to be a bit more of a simple sample. In the Moonlight, an original prose piece by sharkray24's. I saw her, standing there in the moonlight. She was wearing a blue dress and a white hat, with ribbons flowing through her hair. The wind picked up, and she looked at me. She looked at me in the moonlight, and I saw her, standing there in the moonlight, atop a grassy field in the moonlight, as the fireflies danced around her in a fairy tale ballet. She had the stars in her eyes, and she was the stars. The wind blew through her, and she was the wind. The moon glowed on her face, and it smiled at her, and she smiled at me, and her smile was the moonlight. Was I standing? Or was I floating through the sea of night, with her as my guide, my lighthouse, my beacon of light in the inky blackness and loneliness? Was it a second? Was it a minute? An hour? Day or week, month or year? It felt like forever. I wished it would be forever. With her, smiling at me, smiling in the moonlight, smiling as the moonlight. She was the moonlight, and the stars, and the wind, and the grass, and the lights, and the shadows. She was everything at once, the only thing here. And she smiled at me. Alright, so that was In the Moonlight, which was an original piece of prose written by me for my Valentine's Day episode, which will be up in the card. So let's walk through that and see the math that you're currently seeing on screen right now. So it was one voice, no extra charge for extra voices. The total time was 1 minute 45 seconds. So according to the price sheet, that would be $10, though for a piece this simple, I would probably be willing to lower it down to $7, maybe $6 at the most. Cleanup was free. And for the sake of example, let's say this was a next day rush job. It wasn't super hard to do, but it was still a rush job. So that would be an extra $7 for a total of $17 US. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to Miko Reen, my good friend on Tumblr, who made this piece for the Valentine's Day episode, and who gave me permission to use it again here in this video. So with that, we're going to move on to the next sound sample, which is going to be a more complex voice reel. So with that, here we go. I am Joker from Persona 2: Innocent Sin. Hello? I am Joker, the final trump card drawn by those who anguish over their dreams. Tell me your idea. Your trump card has been spoiled. The bet on the table was your inner dreaming heart. In accordance with the ritual, I now claim the pot.
Ideals only cause pain to the powerless. I have freed them from that anguish. Better not to yearn for impossible dreams. They are lifeless shells of dreams. They can be seen, but are not. They will be forgotten and become true shadows. But enough chit-chat. I have other business with you. It's been ages, Tatsuya Suo. I've been waiting for the moment you would all summon me. As a parting gift, I'll show you something interesting. Not personas, but true demons!
Persona!
Persona!
Persona! Let's go, everybody!
Fusion spell. A laudable idea. But it's much too weak. You'll never best me with such a paltry offense. Aikichi Mishima, Lisa Silverman, and you, the thief! It's time you died! You cannot escape the Wheel of Fortune!
Okay, so that was I Am Joker, which is an excerpt of a scene from Persona 2: Innocent Sin, which appeared in my April Fool's Day video, and it's honestly, I think, some of the best work that I've done for the channel thus far. I'm really proud of it, but that's beside the point. Let's get into breaking down the price of if this was a commission. So, no extra charge for extra voices because it is only one voice. The total length was 3 minutes and 27 seconds. So that falls into the range of $10. However, because it was a very complex script, there would be an additional $5 to $7-ish. Cleanup is free, and this is extremely extensive editing, because when I actually did it for the YouTube video, I was literally there for hours trying to gather all the sound effects, trying to put it all in, and if you've watched that video, you know from my outro that it was a very stressful video to make, especially on the editing side. So that would be a bit more pricey, $35 to $40, maybe $50 depending, somewhere in that range. And then, this is an important one, it's a very strenuous voice. So, the thing about being a voice actor, or an actor, or a singer, is that if we don't have a voice, we don't have work. Our voice is our tool that we use to provide the products that we use, or that we provide to you, our customers, or our viewers, or listeners, or whoever. So, because of what I said earlier, I don't want any one commission to impair my ability to work on another commission. Strenuous voices will be a smaller fee. If they're an extremely strenuous voice and for an extremely long amount of time, it can get a bit more expensive. For this one, I would only charge about $5, $8 at the absolute most, but probably no more than that. And that brings us to a total of a range between $55 to $65 for this commission. Alright, now we get into payment. So payment should be made through PayPal, because that's all I have. If needed, we can work out another form of payment, but PayPal is what I prefer. The initial payment will consist of the length payment and is expected before the recording process begins. Then there will be a second payment that will consist of all extra fees based on extra service and other factors, and is expected after the recording process but before the file is sent to you. Once everything has been completed and you've sent me both payments, I will send you an MP3 file or another file type if you so desire to your email, and then that'll be it. You'll have your great voice acting commission, and I'll have my money, which I need desperately. So, how to request a commission? The best way is to PM me on Tumblr or on Twitter. Sharkray24 is the username on both those websites. Or if you go to my YouTube channel and go from there, you can find my Facebook page. You can message the Facebook page. I won't be taking commissions from anyone in the YouTube comments just because there isn't like a personal messaging system in YouTube, at least not anymore. Those were the glory days back when we had one. But anyways, some other information that people tend to ask me is what kind of microphone I use. I use a Samson GoPro mic, and I use Audacity for all my audio editing, and I use Pinnacle Studio for all my video editing. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video, though it was not really one that was more... It was less content, more an update, more me begging for money. Situation is kinda complicated, so I don't want to go into it, but basically, I have been unemployed since essentially March 7th. Not... Like, once this is all blown over, I'll be going back to my job. I'm technically furloughed, but I have not been working, so I've not been getting paid since March 7th, and it's... my bank account is not happy. It's really not happy. So, I really hope some of you commission me, and if you can't commission me but want to help, just share this video with people who might be interested. I know I'll be posting this video with more information both on my Tumblr and on my Twitter, so if you're seeing it there and you want to help me out, just reblog it or retweet it, and that'll be great. Liking this video will help. Heck, disliking this video will help. Subscribe, ring the bell, and I will see you all when I see you.
So in lieu of the rent, here's the fantastic Dr. Teeth with money! Yeah!
Don't want no loving, don't want no kissing, don't want no gal to call me honey. Don't want my name in the Hall of Fame, just want a big fat pile of money. Give me that almighty dollar for that lettuce, hear me holler. Give me a buck.